So, try again. I'm going to show you how to set up a gas planet, because they're quite abundant and quite useful. With gas planet, the easiest thing to make, that's a money maker, is coolant. So you're going to need, for the setup, you're going to need some tier 1 products, just some water and some electrolytes. That just speeds things up a bit, makes things easier to set up. I've already placed, in this case, the command center on the gas planet. I don't normally stick it right on the top unless I'm making a factory planet, but this one is going to be a manufacturing planet for coolant, so you could actually put the command center in the middle of where you're going to work. Moving quickly on, you're just going to look for a place where you've got aqueous liquids, which makes water, and ionic solutions close by. And as you can see, on a gas planet it's quite straightforward. You're going to be using it between these sort of two bands. That's where the ionic solutions are, and the water, the aqueous liquids are about there. Because we're working in a very busy system, which is obvious, you're going to have multiple characters using, shall we say, planets. In fact, that's 2 of mine, which is typical. I haven't paid attention to that. That's what you don't want. 2 characters producing stuff right next to each other, because it does wear down the area. So I'll have a little look down the south here, see if there's a gap. Gas planets, because of all my characters I've used... there's a nice spot there. As you can see, there's no command centers of other people, and this will be a nice little area to set up. I'll just get the water band. So I'm going to be setting up round about here, so that I can get my extractors to the liquids and to the solutions over here. Now, the most important thing, of course, is the spaceport. Then what I usually find is useful is a storage facility either side of it. And I try and keep this as compact as I can. You need extractors at either end of the setup. And then you're going to need basic processors. And I usually stick with 2 either side of the extractor. This is how I do it. This is just a basic setup. There might be more efficient ways where they stick 3 on and this, that and the other. But I find the balance of power for a skill 5 is usually best to have all this set this way. And then of course you're going to have 2 advanced... of course you need the money. Just set that for a minute. You will need the money. So I need to actually just quickly give myself some money. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be enough. Let's go back. So, no, I don't want to go there. I might edit this a little bit out for you, but right, there we go. So, I now want to advanced facilities either side of the spaceport in the center. And then of course you've got to link everything together. So they're all linked together. And what you're going to do is you're going to extract into the storage devices, storage facilities, sorry. They're going to filter through to these two processors, and then they're going to store that tier 2 product into the spaceport, which then filters into the advanced facilities, and then straight back in there again. That's how I do it. There are probably more efficient ways of doing it, and you can have a look on YouTube as to different ways, but that's how I do it. Usually the balance is quite straightforward, so we'll try with 6. I usually do it on a 4-day cycle. So we'll do water first, and just try and spread out your extractors as best possible. 160 is a nice amount to get money from. In high sec you'd probably get around about 40 or 50. You're not going to make a huge amount of money. You will make a little bit, but not a huge amount. Whereas obviously in wormhole space you're making a far bigger amount, and that's the key thing, how much you make. And then I will do the same down here depending on my power levels. Now this is all set up by your skills. So there we go. I've only got 4 for electrolytes, but if I get the balance right, I probably will be able to make more with these 4 than I would with the 6 of the water. I mean, you have to do the maths to make sure how the balance works. Sometimes you have to have 5 of one and 6 of the other, and sometimes you can only enough power to do 5 of one and 4 of the other. But that's basically what you're looking for. Yeah, you get some quite high readings here. So it's about 190. So that's already, compared to 160, making quite a bit more. So maybe 4 might make enough to cope. You've got 4 days install. Right. So that's the extractor setup, and then you want these to go somewhere. So you're going to be going to the products. You want these to go to the storage device, but I haven't got. Have I not put a link there? I have probably put a link there. Let me just submit that for a minute. Right, I've missed a link there. Easily done. So, very important, make sure your liquids go somewhere. Otherwise, you're just wasting all your money and you won't notice anything happening. Do the same with your solutions. You can do this with any other product, depending on what you're trying to make. We're making coolant, so these 2 products go straight in there. And then from here, when you have products, you would then filter them through. Now, normally, if you're setting this up raw, you need to wait for the extractors to have produced something in the next cycle, which, depending on when it is, the next cycle will be in 1 hour. So if you're setting this up raw, you'd need to wait an hour before you'd have products there to then put to the next phase. But I've cheated. I've already gone ahead on that. So I'm just going to do a quick little sneaky trip to the gas planet, to the customs office very quickly.
Warp drive active.
And I'm just going to stick these in the customs office so that I can zip ahead and do that part. Remember, this is just an internal corp instructional video. I'm not going to expect to have this all polished.
Warp drive active.
Also, when you're picking stuff up, I find that because it's got a quick and easy thing to do, the minute you land on a planet, it warps back straight away, and as it takes its little time to churn up your warp speed, you can do your transfer in that time, and that gives you minimum time of hanging around a customs office. I didn't even bother checking to see if there was anything hanging around, because chances are you're not going to spot it anyway, and it's all down to speed and chance. So, we'll go back to the setup. We now have the tier 1 products already in place that I have artificially put in. And there they are. Now, I'm going to transfer the water to there, and I'm then going to... Oh, maybe I can't do this all in one go. Or can I? I don't know how long I've got to wait. I've got to wait a little while to do that. But anyway, I can do the water. So, double clicking it is the quickest way. Ah, and one thing I forgot. I need to turn these facilities to actually be producing water. And any water produced by this will go straight into the spaceport. So again, I'm producing water, and I want the water to be stored in the central pod. So now, because it knows it's waiting for water, I can link that to there. Why can't I link it? Have I missed a link? Oh, that's interesting. Have I not? What have I not done? Oh, of course, yes. I've made the complete bog hole of doing it the wrong way around. Forget that. I should have put this in the main route. It should be in there with the electronics. I've done one stage ahead. These are the tier 1 products that go into the advanced factory. Should be making coolant. Apologise for that. So they make coolant and filter it through to the little pod as well. So all I need to do is tier 1 products need to go in there. Double click, in we go. How would it go? And tier 1 water in there. And then you do it for both sides. So that's the far end of the factory process, the facilities producing the coolant itself from water and electronics. So they're actually going to be producing coolant straight away. The stage that I've missed that I don't have at the moment is the raw products, the tier 0 products that are produced by the extractors. In an hour's time, when there's enough, I would filter that through into the here, and then the route has already been set up into there, so you'd get aqueous liquids into there, produced into water, water would go into here, and as I've just chucked in there, water then filters off straight away there. And you do the same for the ionic solutions turned into electronics, which then go back there and then get made into coolant there. Now this is now all automated, and all you need to do is once every 4 days, when the extractors are nearly run down, they'll probably be down here, and you just stop, install, submit, and it carries on producing for the next 4 days. And then eventually you'll have coolant in here, and this will all be converted. You might get some spare stuff, but you really want the coolant to be moved across into there, and then you're all set and done. And that's it. And this setup obviously can be done to make other things like mechanical parts and anything else that you think is valuable that you can find on the right planets. Of course, remember to check for other characters' networks. You don't want to be making stuff over someone else. You won't make any money, and they will stop making money as well. Also, this for a gas planet is nice and banded. For making any other products, you will have to hunt for a nice spot to get between two products that you need. For example, you might need some metals, and there might be some other metals here to make a product, and you're going to have to set up halfway between them. But that's the only thing you need to take in mind. This basic setup is what I use for all my planets. So, spaceport, storage facility, extractor, and then basic facilities either side of the extractor. That's how I run it. Just have a little look at what I've done on the barren planet. See, same scenario again. That's where the command center is, but still, there's still two advanced ones off of the main spaceport. There's a slight variation, and this will be a patch of where there was noble metals, and this would have been a patch where there was base metals. So again, I found an area where there was both together, noble metals in this area and base metals in this area, and that's the basic way you place it. Okay, I hope that helps.